Hello everyone, we're in OilCreek State Park today. It's mid-February 2018. It's getting towards dark, so we've got to get going, but before we do, I'm Rich.
And I'm Bob Tomato.
And we're trekking ahead.
Yeah, look at him, he's struggling. He's trying to get up the river.
Yeah, you almost wonder at what point would it make more sense for him to just get out and walk.
I know. He's a beaver, I don't think he thinks that he's going to jump off.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's why we're on the top of the fixed line.
When they say no winter maintenance, they mean no winter maintenance. And this is where we should have parked, about half a mile east of the bridge, because that's where the actual trail heading is. And if you go on trekkingahead.com and look for OilCreek Trail, Gerard Trail, we'll have GPS points for where we should have parked in this parking spot right here to start trails. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be hiking sections 3 and 2 of the Gerard Loop hiking trail backwards and ending. So we're going to be staying tonight at Cow Run shelters, and then tomorrow we're going to hike about 15 miles, I think it is, over to Wolf Kill State Park, or Wolf Kill shelters. Once we get over to Wolf Kill, we just got a quick mile or two back down to our vehicle Sunday morning. So we'll be getting going early Sunday morning. It'll be a nice day tomorrow. Now that we're
It's nice and warm out here.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the breeze coming through the open road.
That's true. So we finally are on the trail at like 5:30 at night in February. So that means we don't have much daylight left. So we better get hustling along here. So we just came up the hill that's on section 3, and again we're hiking section 3 backwards to Cow Run shelters, and it's a pretty good hill. Normally the runners and the hikers go the other way, so they'd be going down this hill, but you know, we're doing stuff backwards this weekend, so that was a pretty good hill. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's starting to get pretty dark. We're heading towards dark. Actually, it's lighter on the camera than it is in real life, so pretty good camera. But we're going to keep trekking here and try to get to camp soon enough that we can split some firewood and get a good fire going in that shelter. That's probably going to be the absolute first thing we do, because honestly, once we can get a fire going, the rest of it's going to be gravy. We don't have to set up our hammocks or nothing. We're just laying out our sleep mats and our sleeping bags and going to bed. So let's get there and let's get a fire going. This is you know what? This is it's in the middle of winter, but we've had it melt off, so there's no more snow left. And this reminds me of fall hiking, but without the warmth. But it's still very pretty. My wife and I love the fall, especially in the Allegheny forest, you know, the deciduous forest and that. So it's really pretty. But it reminds me of fall camping after a rainstorm or something. So very nice. Wind's not too bad. I can't complain. It's a weekend and we're out in the woods, so you know, can't complain about that at all. So let's get going. Well, we finally made it to Cow Run shelters after several hours of hiking in the dark. We had to backtrack a few times. We got a fire going. Once we get this pumpy roaring and it starts drawing up, I think it's starting to draw up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So get this fire going. We'll get some more firewood down here and settle in for a long winter's nap. I don't know. Are you hungry? Maybe we'll get some food first.
We'll get some food going.
All right, we'll get some food going and we'll settle in for a long winter's nap. But these shelters are really nice. I've never been in these shelters before, but I've been in the wolf kill shelters, which are exact duplicates of this. You got an area, I want to say 10 by 10. What do you think? 10 by 10 maybe?
Yeah, I think a 10 by 10.
Yeah, 10 by 10 lean-to.
Maybe a little bit more.
And it's got a nice shelf on either side to, you know, hang some stuff up and whatnot. They got hooks in some different places. If I would have been smart enough to bring a tarp, we could have closed off this opening over here. Seems to be where the wind's blowing in from. We could have wrapped a tarp around this side, but we'll deal without it for the night. And we'll see if we're still here in the morning. Oh, but it's nice to finally be at the end of the trail. Don't you agree, Josh?
Oh yeah.
Morning, everyone. Sun's up long before we were. We slept in a little bit this morning here. Had a long, cold night last night. Got the fire rekindled. This is our bungalow. Josh is still waiting for the fire, I guess, to get a little bit higher before he gets up. And I'm going to get breakfast on. But just a beautiful place here in OilCreek. Overlooking the valley here. Just beautiful. So I think in that last shot I shamed Josh into getting out of bed because like as soon as I was done making that real quick recording.
He told me that if I wanted to enjoy the fire, we only had 2 pieces left. So
maybe that has something to do with it. Oh, okay. So
fire shaming.
So fire shame. Fire shaming. Whatever it takes, I guess, to get them going. But like I said, we did sleep in quite a bit this morning. It's 8 o'clock. It's after 8 a little bit.
Good. Saturday.
It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. But we slept in a little bit. We spent for a couple good hours in the pitch black hiking last night. Got turned around. Well, not turned around. We got off the trail.
Like 3 times?
Yeah, I think 3 times.
Yeah.
And really, I really count ourselves lucky that that we made it here, because distance in the dark seems a lot further, or it takes you a lot longer to go the distance that you think you need to go. And when you look on the map, you're like, it's got to be there. It's got to be there. But,
yeah, on the map it only said that was 3.75 miles, but we do that quite often up at Penn State Barren. It seems way shorter than this.
yeah. So it was out of that 3.7 some miles, we probably did
probably
2.5 to 3 of it in the pitch black.
Yeah.
Uphill on a very windy trail that snaked around the top of a ridge, kind of overlooking the valley below.
Oh, which, by the way, water finding the easiest possible way of travel. That's true for trails, apparently, too.
Yeah, a lot of the trails turned into little streams. So at some point, when you're following the trail, you're actually following the stream if there's a lot of water traveling. But I don't think we're going to have a problem today because everything is frozen this morning. So I don't know. It'll probably warm up as time comes on, and then we'll be walking in water again. Hopefully our hiking accoutrements are all dried out this morning, and we're all good to go. But really quickly, I'm going to give you kind of a little tour of Cow Run shelters, and then we're going to get breakfast on. So here we are at Cow Run Shelter as you're coming off the Yellow Blaze Trail. So you come off the trail and immediately there's shelter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the other side of the latrine over there
It's 5.
is ours 5. But before we go to the latrine, really quick, up the road here just a little bit is the woodshed. Now at Cow Run shelters and wolf kill shelters, the local community has volunteers and whatnot that come in and they dump off firewood. You see a big mountain of firewood there, and they dump it off on a volunteer like type basis. And there is a little cash box up here in the woodshed, and they just ask you to leave a donation of whatever you feel that you used up the night before burning. So make sure if you use any of these shelters, hey, be a mensch and actually put a little money in a lockbox for the people who donate all this wood, because they donate a lot of wood. I mean, it makes it really nice when you don't have to go searching for wood. Now I will say, over to Wolf Kill Shelter, they left a splitting maul, and there isn't one here that we could find last night. Oh, there it is. We were looking all over for it last night, couldn't find it, but there it is. Okay, that would have came in handy this last night, but
Nah, it's dull.
yeah, well, it's the splitting maul. There's a bear box here, which, by the way, the latch doesn't work. We could not get that thing open for nothing.
It's too smart for humans.
Yeah,
So...
yeah. It keeps the bears out, but it also keeps the humans out too. So if you are coming here, we did the alternate bear bag last night. We might as well go ahead and grab our food while we're out and around. We aren't really too concerned about bears being out in February, but you know, there are the menacing raccoons and skunks and other things that can cause you to have a really bad day. So we opted for the alternate bear box down here. As soon as we get down here, which is the men's bathroom. So we went in and kind of put our food and bags and stuff in a corner away from the vault. So men's bathroom, one urinal and one pit toilet. Keep the lid closed. Always want to keep the lid closed on these vault toilets to, you know, do what we can to keep the odor net down. Not worrying about that in the middle of winter here. They got a little bit of hand sanitizer here next to the door on the way out for you. It's awfully nice to find at the end of your trail, especially if you got to do number 2. Now they also got drinking water here, and we'll talk more about the water in Oil Creek later on, but they've got drinking water here. Obviously not at this time of year, but during the summer and whatnot, they have there's a big like 50-gallon tank or 30-gallon tank or whatever in there, and you can get water. They've got waste bags for pet waste and stuff like that if you're walking your dog. They also even have a box full of newspaper for you to use to get your fire started. So I'll tell you what, local community here, and there's recyclables and trash bin here, so you don't have to pack your garbage out. And these lean-tos are just really nice. They each come with a picnic table, a raised floor that makes a real nice bench right in front of the fireplace for you to sit on as you're enjoying yourself, warming your hands by the fire in the middle of February. It's very nice not to be sitting on a log or the ground or whatnot. And they're really nice shelters, nice headroom in them, lots of eye bolts and hooks, and if we were smart we would have brought a tarp and hung it over the entrance, but nice shelving in them, nice clean floors, well, clean hard, wood floors. Do bring an air mattress or something, no, because otherwise you're gonna wish you had by the time morning comes around. Don't do stupid stuff like, staple things in where they don't belong and stuff like that, which it looks like somebody did at some point in time there. But there's also a couple nice big stud hooks on either side. Over to Wolf Kill Shelters, I used these to hang a hammock at a very steep angle, though.
Maybe it makes more of an efficient chair than a hammock.
Yeah, no, that's about exactly what it was. And then real nice fireplace in these. They don't have a really good airflow to them, though, so you're going to have to get the fire going pretty good in order to get a draft. Now, they do have like some pot hanging arms and stuff like that, but they are all bent up and screwed up over the years, so I wouldn't count on using those, although none of the backpacking stuff that we've ever used would, warrant that. And they've even been nice. I mean, these people really go all out. They even have, a small stack of firewood at each one of the fireplaces for you guys to get your fire started. And here's another thing, being a good part of the community, restock the firewood. Don't you dare come here in the middle of the night like we did, start a fire and enjoy a nice warm fire, and then say, that was very nice of somebody to leave all that firewood for me, and I'm out of here, and not restock the firewood.
Remember the wood pile.
Remember the wood pile, people, and we'll tell that story again maybe sometime later on in another episode. But yeah, remember the wood pile, and restock the wood pile before you leave Cow Run Shelter and get back on the trail. All right. So we've overstayed our welcome this morning. Took our time getting going here, but we're back on the trail now. We're gonna go about 4 miles, and actually we're hiking backwards. We've decided to, because of the icy road conditions that we experienced hiking up to the trailhead, we're a little bit nervous about what that means for getting out. And tomorrow morning, we don't want to be, on a Sunday morning, we don't want to be
Slipping and sliding.
Yeah, well, we don't want to be stuck. If we need to actually get a tow truck or something like that to get us out of here, I prefer to do that on a Saturday than on a Sunday. So we're going to head back to our vehicle. We're going to go ahead and drive up the road the opposite direction from the ice slick and see if we can get out of here. If we can get out of here, then we're going to maybe go to one of the other trails in the area here and do a little bit of a loop trail and see if we can still end up at Wolf Kill Shelters tonight. Something else I forgot to mention about both Wolf Kill and Cow Run Shelters is you do have to have a permit for them. We came in the middle of the night. We do not have a permit for them. So what we're doing on the way out Sunday morning or probably this afternoon while we're driving around, we'll stop by the park office and make sure to pay our I think it's like $10 or $12 a piece for the use of these shelters, and definitely well worth the money for the very nice shelters that they have here. So let's get going down that trail.
This wouldn't have been a puddle last night. It's all ice now.
Yeah, you got cold last night. That's for sure. That's cold. So OilCreek was, was the birthplace of oil production here everywhere, really. But so there is remnants of the oil production scattered all over these forests. And it's really kind of cool to understand a little bit about what they are and how they work and everything. This actually here is like, that looks like one of the turntables. They'd have an engine probably mounted somewhere over here. They had a big old
diesel style engine, or I guess sometimes
Steam.
they may have used steam too.
Yeah, they had steam.
And it turns a giant belt, goes around that wheel there, and then that drives that big upper cog wheel back and forth and back and forth, and that would pull rods through the woods to drive the pumps. And we'll see if we can't we'll stop down by the museum and see some working examples of that. Yep, so let's get going back on the trail for now though. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit of a safety notice. Yes, we did take a shortcut back on the railroad tracks, but we only did that because of a couple different reasons. Number one, we had insider information knowing ahead of time that the railroad that operates on here, which is the OilCreek railroad that starts at the museum and goes down to Petroleum Center and back, is not functioning at this time of year, or else I would never suggest we do this. And this is probably illegal. I'm sure I haven't seen any no trespassing signs, but I do know that generally you're not supposed to trespass on railroad tracks. Our main reason for doing it was on our return trip down from Cow Run. We came within like 20 feet of the tracks, and the place that we're going to, where our car is parked, is a bridge right next to the railroad tracks, and there was a big hill coming up that we didn't want to have to go back up, back down, and then fight ice road here that we're going to find out if we can make it up or not before we try any other trails today. So, safety notice, don't do this. We're just a couple of idiots out here having fun, and don't use our example. Do not go on railroad tracks unless, well, just don't do it.
Also, I have a question. Who ticked off Elsa and made this happen?
Yeah, because this road, we walked on this for half a mile, and this is the good section. It gets much worse with thick ice all the way across and no trail at all, no tracks at all. We slid down a good section of this road. So, question is, can we get back up it? I'm not sure. We might actually try the other side of the bridge and head towards Route 8 and see if we can make it up to Route 8. Yeah. If we can, we're going to go back down to the ranger station, maybe talk to them down at the ranger station and pay our fee for the camping for the night and that sort of thing. So our shortcut back to the car worked. We're back here, pretty quick order. I don't think we really shaved any mileage off, but we did shave some time off. Maybe a little bit of mileage.
And fatigue.
Yeah, we pretty much flat. You know how railroads don't only have a couple % grade. So nice flat shot back here. So now we're in the car, got it started up. Let's see if we can get out of here. And then we'll go down to the park office really quick. Okay, well that worked out pretty well. Coming up the other way, nowhere near as much ice as what we saw on the I guess it would be the east side of the bridge, the east side of the river.
The other side.
The other side. tons of dirt for us to get traction on through it, four-wheel drive high. We got up out of that, got up out of the valley. We're up on the flat now. Clear sailing from here on, I think. So our next stop is going to be, I believe we're going to go to the park office now. So see you there. Well, apparently they're closed on Saturdays, so I guess we're going to have to square up with them the next time we're down here, which we'll be down here a lot. My wife trail runs down here, and we'll be back down here to try out some of the other trails. So let's go find a trail to finish up the rest of this day on. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you know that you're not in town anymore. You're in a small community. Not because it's a one-lane bridge, but because of the pattern of the shotgun blast in the one-hole bridge sign.
We saw that on a stop sign too, didn't we?
Well, we saw bullet holes in the stop sign, yeah. All right, well, let's get on to section 4. And Cemetery Hill. You've never hiked Cemetery Hill, have you?
No.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be an experience for you then.
I've
so
heard it's
it's gonna be fun. All right, let's get going. So here we are at the base of Cemetery Hill. And they don't call it Cemetery Hill as some kind of euphemism or anything. It's actually a cemetery for the local community. Very old gravestones for the most part here, except for like one modern one there. But, and the trail, section 4, goes right by it. If we had more time, we might stop and look at some of history of some of the stones here. We may do that sometime in the future. But the other reason why I think they call it Cemetery Hill is we start to go up a very steep incline for a very long ways. So let's get going. Oh, just in case, before somebody asks, Josh decided that since we're doing a loop and coming back to the car before the end of the night, he decided to throw on his EDC bag and just throw lunch and some dry clothes and stuff like that in there in case we need them. And so we're going to treat this as kind of more of a day hike until we get back to our vehicle and figure out what we're doing from there. So let's get going up this hill. And here is the second hill part of section 4 that I remember. And I'm facing perfectly straight forward, but if you look, this path just keeps going up and up and up. Nice gradual, but yet very solid climb upwards to the top of the hill. So let's get going.
I'm taking my jacket off before we start this.
Oh, you're gonna lose a layer?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna take a break then, and then we're gonna get going up this hill. So he did it somehow. Josh convinced me. We're going t-shirts, or well, I'm wearing a Wickway long sleeve shirt, but it's not very thick. It's microscopic, you know. And he's wearing a workout t-shirt as well. And I think the thermometer in the car was only 18 degrees.
Yeah.
But it's probably colder down in the valley than it is up here, but still, it's cold out. He's convinced me that in order to tackle this hill, we're going to sweat like crazy, so we're going to try to avoid
Getting our layers wet.
yeah, getting all of our layers wet. So I'm skeptical, but we'll see how this goes. We might be stopping in 5 minutes and throwing our jackets back on.
I don't think so.
All right, well, let's find out. Let's get trekking. So this is kind of cool. We're coming up on a grapevine that's growing through the treetops and starting to sag down now right into the trail. It's almost like an archway of vine grapes that we're going to be going through
Fun
here.
fact, grapevines can be used to start a fire.
Yeah, oh, tell you what, the bark off of grapevines, go ahead over there, Josh, and grab some off there and show them. That's enough just for demonstration. And you take it and then roll it between your two hands, and you can get yourself a real good bird's nest going for a fire starter. And most of the time, because the grapevines are up off the ground, it's dry, you know, even when it's been wet. Yeah, makes a real good bird's nest the more you beat it up. So, all right, well, let's keep going. We got a long ways to go before we worry about a fire. We're on the downhill descent now too. So, I don't know, Josh, that uphill went faster than the last time I hiked it. I was with your younger brothers though for then, so I might end up putting a jacket back on before too long here at all. Oh, we'll see.
That was not half bad.
No, that wasn't half bad at all. Well, let's keep going. Josh just got very happy because there's a bridge. Thank you, whoever it is that maintains the Gerard Trail. There's a nice bridge here for us, so I don't have to worry about a creek. What is this? Jones Run. That's what the marker says. Oh, sweet it is. Thank you, trail crew, for putting that bridge in there. Whoa!
Careful.
There's some ice. All right, let's get going up this trail. I think we're starting to go uphill now again, Josh. Yippee!
While off my jacket.
Yep. Another one of the many, many stream crossings along this trail. But this one isn't too bad. We got some good stepping rocks to make it across here. So there's no need for a bridge here. But definitely a lot of water flowing through this valley. Well, I I think we're getting close. Although it's mid-afternoon, we haven't taken the time to have lunch yet. I think I had a place in mind to stop and overlook a waterfall for lunch, but I'm not sure that we're going to get that far before I say the heck with it, we're eating here. But let's see how far we get. Nice little walk through a pathway of mountain laurel on either side. The thing I like about this is really pretty and not a lot of water in the path, but boy, a bear could be like 10 feet away from you and you wouldn't know, but not in this weather obviously. But there has been runners, I know, from experience, that have been surprised by a bear.
Or cougar.
No, bear on section 4 here.
Okay.
And he or she likes to be a little forceful with some false charges and stuff. So this is a section, if I was a runner in the summertime, I think I'd be taking my time and maybe using a bear bell or something through here. Yeah, through here. Because they literally could just be in there 10 feet. You wouldn't see them until you're on top of them. That looks like the trail's opening up again here though. So let's get going. Lunch awaits. Okay, we made it to the bench where I want to spend lunch at Bogatin Falls. Maybe that's the way you pronounce it. I don't know. But this is where we're going to stop and have lunch and enjoy the scenic view of the falls here. And then we'll finish our trip up to the switchbacks down the hillside. Just a little bit to go up there, Josh, and then we cut down to a bridge that crosses us up further.
Well, look at that. Isn't that nice? You can see, that's right down there is where Timmy and Dana and I went skinny dipping down there, and they just kind of...
Now, was that maybe an animal?
Yeah?
Huh.
In the bathroom.
Something got into Joshua's food bag, chewed a hole right through it during the middle of the night in the latrine up there, Cow Run Shelter.
Well, mystery solved.
Fortunately, that water bag's only like a $3 investment. So we just finished up lunch at Bogatin Falls, and we're heading up to the footbridge to cross the stream there. We've got a little bit to go before we get to the switchbacks, and we're losing light fast, so we're gonna get moving here and hopefully get down the switchbacks before it gets dark. That'd be really bad in the dark. Once we get down the switchback, so there's a footbridge we cross over the river, and as long as we make it to that footbridge before dark, we'll be fine. But for right now, we're just going to get trekking and hauling down the trail here. So talk to you in a bit. Okay, we made it to where we separate off of the yellow trail, which is the normal Gerard Trail, and we're heading down to the West Side Trail, which leads us to the swinging bridge. So we're changing now from yellow blazes to white blazes, which should be more interesting in the snow too. But here we go, we're going to start our downhill descent, and if I remember right, we come to a shanty pretty soon, and that's like the top of the really steep switchbacks that we'll be descending down. So let's get going. And as promised, there's a shanty. I guess it's actually a wheelhouse, but it goes downhill. You know, the way it turns, the way the sides of the sheet metal and that are cut and everything, it looks like the cables used to come in and out going downhill. But this is the beginning of the switchback madness, back and forth. This up here is really nice. So I do recall last time I did this was in August, and
I do remember that by the time you get to the bottom of this, my knees and my thighs were hurting quite a bit. And I was 20 some pounds heavier though back in August. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But let's get down here and see if we can get down to that footbridge in short order. So we're down finally to the bottom of the switchbacks. I think there's like what, 5 or 6 of them, Josh? Yeah. Back and forth. But a real steep descent. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't as bad as I remember it in August. Like I said, I was much heavier then too. It's really encouraging. Saw 2 gentlemen running up. One of them was obviously training his buddy, or he was a trainer or whatever. And another one was a bigger guy, and ran up these things, which are very steep and very slippery, especially in this new fallen snow here. And he ran up these things all the way up to, what was it, the second to the last switchback towards the top. So man, props to whoever you are.
I think he was running up the hills and walking the flats.
Was he? Okay, well, either way, hey, mad props to whoever can run up these things. I know many runners do, but it'll be a while before I can do that, I guess. So yeah, this is where Daniel, Timmy, and I had lunch. Yeah, they even got like a little baby seat on the end of the picnic table there. But we sat here, and while we were eating, the train went through on the tracks for the tour. It's kind of cool. So we made it to Swinging Bridge in plenty of time. Not sure exactly what time it is, but it's still not dark yet, so that's all that matters. So we're going to cross this, and it's just a little jaunt through the woods, and we'll be up, whoa, on the bike trail. All right, slippery on the tracks, be careful there. But cross this bridge, and it's just a short jaunt through the woods, and we will be up on the bike trail. And instead of taking section 1, which we would be doing in the dark, we're just going to stay on the bike trail for however many miles it is back to our car. And I don't know, we'll figure out what we're going to do from there then. This is kind of a no plan weekend. We just plan one little step at a time and just enjoy a father and son time together in the beautiful outdoors. And we brought you guys along for the view, just for the fun. Well, we made it up to the bike path, and we're gonna trek back here about, I'm estimating about 3 miles on the bike path, and that should bring us back to the bridge where we parked our vehicle at. And with the amount of snow that's coming down, Josh and I have kind of talked about it, and we decided, since we'd have to get up really early in the morning and get going, and as cold as it's getting and as slippery as the hill's going to be coming back down, we think we're just going to go and see if we can't find a Pizza Hut or a burger or something really unhealthy for us to eat, to get our calories back. We had a big lunch, but it's about all we ate today. The breakfast didn't have hardly any calories in it at all when I looked at the package, and wasn't that great of a breakfast either. So maybe a Pizza Hut's in our future. I don't know, but we'll let you know when we get back to our vehicle in about 3 miles or so. And along the bike trail you get to see some really pretty sights, like, sorry for the shaky cam, but a nice ice formation on the other side of the river there. And we still got a long way to go down this trail, but it has been slow going because this pavement is all ice with snow on top, and we've had lots of, what did I call them, involuntary splits?
Yeah.
And Josh said about broke my coccyx back there, whatever that is. So.
Coccyx is your tailbone.
Coccyx, yeah, I went flying and fell to the ground. So we're going to take it easy getting back to the car, but we're probably about halfway there. Probably got another 1.5 miles to go. Well, that's a beautiful sight. Almost back to the Forerunner. Ended up being about a little over 3 miles. We had to hike on the bike path here, and a very slippery 3 miles with many falls and involuntary splits. I know my tailbone hurts. Coccyx, yeah, coccyx. But glad to be back at the Jeep, and I think we're gonna go with the Pizza Hut plan. I think as soon as we can get up out of this valley. So hopefully this snow on top of the ice isn't a problem. I don't think it will be, but we'll find out pretty soon. Alright, here we go. Windshield cleared off.
It's a good transition.
It's a winter wonderland out here.
Oh.
Okay. We got the 4 wheels on. Should we put a 4-wheel low and crawl up that hill?
I'm thinking probably.
Alright, let's do that. Alright, do 4 low.
Does it make that sound the entire time it's in 4-wheel low?
No, just talk transition. Alright. Get some defrosters on here. Oh. Oops.
I'm just saying, we'll stay true to the test the entire time. My head was warm, even though it was wet. That was good.
Here we go. Crawl up this hill. Alright, so as promised, we made it to Pizza Hut, and we're going to have a real quick debrief, kind of go over what we did. So we got in a little too late Friday night.
Yeah, a little bit.
And because of that, we ended up hiking for a couple hours in the dark to make it just a couple miles. It ended up being, we did about 4 miles, and I forgot to look on the odometer to see how many miles we did today. I know we did well over 10 today. We took our time getting up this morning, getting going this morning. We could have probably gotten going a little earlier this morning, but we had a very hard night last night. It was very cold.
That was as a result of a bad night, you know.
A bad hike in. Yeah. The late start kind of screwed us up
Yeah.
all around.
I mean, the snow could have held off too, but like.
Yeah, I really hurt my tailbone pretty good. I mean, it'll recover quick enough, but and I pulled something in my leg doing a split on the ice. I can't tell you how many times we slipped on that bike trail.
Well, I actually fell twice, and
Yeah.
you fell once.
Yeah, I fell once,
Yeah.
you fell twice. That one time I fell, I did a pretty good job. So we'll have to look and see what the actual mileage was, but I think we hit 10 miles before we started coming down
The
hill, or coming down the switchbacks. So switchbacks isn't a lot of distance, but it is a lot back and forth, and then across the bridge, and then what did I say, about 3 miles that we hiked on the
about
bike.
3.5.
Maybe. I was guessing around 3 miles that we
Yeah.
hiked on the bike trail.
And you were pretty dead on too. Like, we came up on the with a 3 mile marker after not too long.
Yep. Yep. So that was our hike out. What we learned, what we would do differently. I think I'll go first, and then if you got any suggestions. One for me would be probably, I would say, either micro spikes or yak backs would have been very helpful. I did not anticipate the amount of ice
in the bottom of the valley and stuff like that that we ran into. How about you?
Well, obviously flannel and sweatpants for going to bed in.
Yeah, better. He needs to bring better sleep gear next time around. He ended up borrowing some of my sleep gear to stay warm, but I stayed very warm last night, except for when I got up to feed the fire. You
Oh, I stayed toasty the whole night.
Yeah, he had the triple layer burrito.
Josh burrito
going on. Yeah, he had 240-degree ultralight bags
and a 10-degree fleece liner
and a fleece liner, one side the other. He stayed warm. I'm happy about that. I was concerned about him getting too cold. With that, the fire we went through.
Oh, at least 2 quarts of wood.
No, we went through about 2 armfuls of wood. Speaking of somebody who's worked in a sawmill before, I know how much a quart of wood is, and that was no. We went through about 2 big armfuls, as much as you can carry, of wood. Well worth the $10 that we donated to the. Probably should have given more. I think about it, but whatever. Yak backs. I think I would have rather done better sanitation this morning before we headed out.
Yeah.
I started towards mile 8 or 9 today. I started chafing, and I probably should have put on some body glide or some Desitin. Footwear wise, the yak backs. Other than that, our trail running shoes with bags worked fine, even though we got wet.
I didn't even use bags a second.
Yeah, you didn't even use bags today.
And that was fine. I really didn't get wet too bad.
Yeah, but there is a lot of water on the trails around here, though. So I don't know.
I think something I would definitely add is, I forget what it was. I had mine for a second there. A second hat.
Yeah, I did do that. I had a beanie to wear, while we hike, and I have a separate one that I use to sleep in. I keep a separate pair of wool socks, a separate beanie, and a pair of fleece. I keep a pair of fleece running tights. They're really heavy fleece, winter fleece. They're almost like the modern day version of long johns. And then I also keep a pair of jogging sweatpants. They're really heavy sweatpants. They're real heavy from heat standpoint, but they're very light to actually carry. And I keep those for sleeping in or as emergency backups in cold situations to put in underneath my hiking pants.
Now, if there's another one, I would have brought a tea bag instead of
Yeah, loose leaf tea, not the way to go.
No.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well. He ended up getting his loose leaf tea all over the place. Tea bags are the way to go. Food wise, I think
I think we did fine.
We did good. The Mountain House sausage, gravy, and biscuits this morning was kind of a 2 thumbs down.
Mountain House, don't sponsor us. We don't want your food.
I don't know. We followed the instructions. The only thing we did differently is we let it sit a little longer, which you would have thought would
make it better.
Would make it better, but it wasn't. It was like soup, and it did not.
Well, even with sitting longer, the biscuits were still like super dry. Like I got some crunchy biscuits in mine.
Yeah. Do you think you just maybe didn't get it mixed? Yours didn't get mixed up well enough, or?
No, it was mixed pretty thoroughly to the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, in the past I've liked Mountain House like beef stew and stuff like that, so I'm not sure what the deal is there. I haven't done a lot of Mountain House breakfast before.
I mean, we would do MREs, but those are a little bit too heavy.
Oh, I wouldn't carry MREs in a backpacking trip. And for me, MREs are for car camping, or maybe a go bag or something like that, or canoe trip, but not for backpacking for me. Sometimes I will take just the entree, or something like that. And a lot of times in military surplus stores, you can get just the entrees instead of the whole MRE.
Those whole MREs are ridiculous. Because they're just trying to cram calories in there. Because how much calories does soldiers burn?
You think how much calories we burned today? We didn't go that far, but we did an awful lot of uphill, downhill.
We were billy goating.
we did an awful lot of slipping and sliding. We burned through some calories today. So.
Yeah, and you don't think about how many calories you really burn trying to keep your balance until you really think about it. Whenever I was sailing on the Niagara, there was this one kid that constantly had headaches, and the medical officer asked him, have you been eating enough lately? He's like, oh, well, I'm eating about as much as I typically do. She's like, well, you need to be snacking because you're burning more calories with your body compensating for the rock of the boat to try to keep
I
your
get
balance.
that because I know, like at work, when I switched from a
Sitting to
sitting to a standing desk at work, just the standing motion. I stand for probably 4 hours in the morning and a good 3 to 4 in the afternoon. I usually sit during lunch and in between, but yeah. So even just standing at a standing desk, I know I can tell that I burn more calories.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy, but if I can still lose weight and consume 2,000 calories in a day, so I really need like 2,500 calories just to not lose
Sustain
weight,
yourself.
to sustain myself. So, any movement at all, any extra exercise, of course, takes away from that and creates a deficit.
There's actually calculators that you can use.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else we want to throw in this debriefing. We talked about this.
Be more vigilant whenever you're looking at the trail for the blazing.
Yes.
Blaze markers.
Yeah. Trust the blaze markers and look for them. And when you don't see blaze markers for 100 yards, stop. Go back.
A lot of times, you're looking at this path and it's like very clear that this is a path, but there are no trail markers. There are no trailblazes. Over this way, there's a trailblaze.
Yeah,
but it's
because
it's closed
Friday
off.
night, how many times did we walk down a deer path?
Yeah.
Like 3 times or something like that. We just got off and just, oh, this is a trail. No, it's a deer path. And we just walked, for a quarter of a mile in the wrong direction and ended up having to backtrack to find the trail again, which that's our fault for doing it so late at night in the dark. But down here, they do use reflective dots.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Quite often on the trail, especially the Girard Trail. I didn't notice any reflective dots on some of the minor trails, but on the Gerald, on the Gerald Trail, whatever. Sorry for mispronouncing it, but they have reflectives all around there, and that's because when they do some of the trail runs and stuff,
It can get dark.
Well, the 100-mile ones, you're running through the dark.
Right.
You're starting at 4 or 5 in the morning in the dark, and you're ending quite often, running through the middle of the night. So they have those little reflective dots. That's very helpful. We did not get anywhere near the amount of mileage in that I was hoping to. We were hoping to get about 15 miles in. Our original plan was to do section 3 and 2 backwards. As it turns out, we did like half of 3 and then half of 3 back. And then we did half of section 4, maybe a little bit more than half of section 4, and then throw on a little bit of in the bike trail there. But it all worked.
I think we
out.
did over 10 miles.
Oh, I know we did that because I checked on the little odometer thing, and we hit 10 miles before we got to the switchbacks.
Yeah, so we weren't too far off.
We probably hit 15 miles. Anytime.
On its way out, so just a few seconds.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you said we didn't really hit the mileage that you were hoping for, but
I guess we didn't do the trails I was hoping for.
Yeah.
But I think once we
hit the mileage.
I think once we look on the I forget what I call it. But
The odometer?
the little pedometer thing the little electronic pedometer thing that I use. We didn't run a GPS the whole time, but we did do a pedometer, a readout. I think once we look on there, we're going to find out we probably did 16, 17 miles today or so. And the last couple miles were very hard on us. And yesterday we had some very hard miles in the dark last night. So it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we weren't doing it for the number of miles or anything like that. We were doing it for the recreation of it, and just kind of to burn off some cabin fever and get out of the house.
I call it eerie fever.
Yeah. So I think since our pizza's on its way out, our debriefing is done, and I'm Rich,
And I'm Bob the Tomato.
and we're trekking ahead.
Yep.
You're still here? Wow, you must have really liked this video that we did. Well, if you liked it that much, why don't you just take a few more moments and like, comment, follow, thumbs up, whatever it is, depending on where you're watching this video, that you can let us know that you liked, loved, whatever this video. And if you just suffered through every painstaking moment and you hated every second of it, you can go ahead and let us know that in the comment section down below too. Who knows, maybe we might change the way we do things. We'll see. Anyways, if you're having a problem finding us, you can always go to trekkingahead.com. Follow us on your favorite social media platform there. While you're there, you can also check out our gear, blog, and trails pages. They're all under development, but there's going to be a lot of good information there real soon if there isn't already. On the trails pages, we're going to have everything related to a trail all on one page. Links to map, GPS coordinates, pictures, even the videos that are relevant to that particular trail. Everything that you need to kind of plan your adventure on that same trail. On the blog page, we're going to have copies of all these videos, as well as pictures and important information that we think we want to just get out there to you. And on the gear pages, we're going to have gear that we've used, gear that we've reviewed, gear that we hated, or just gear that we think is going to meet the need for a particular individual. In the gear page there, we're going to have affiliate links to Amazon. Helps justify making these videos to my wife. Anyways, check out stuff there, be a mensch. Help and support wherever you can by using those affiliate links or resharing those affiliate links, whatever. Well, if you also want direct links to kind of be a little bit more convenient, you can always go to facebook.youtube. Instagram. Or amazon.trekkingahead.com and go directly to one of those particular pages. Well, I think this video's gone on long enough. For now, this has been Rich from trekkingahead.com telling you to get out there and let's just keep trekking ahead in your own adventure. See you later.